What's up, everybody? This is Donnie, aka Elevated, and today we're going to talk about 3 habits that if you can keep control of and not do these things, you are going to see a massive increase in your enjoyment of the game of Dota 2 and also your win rate at the same time. These are 3 things that everybody needs to stop doing, and if you can stop doing these, you are going to feel like you have superpowers in games because game quality is going to increase, your play is going to increase, and your MMR is going to increase. So number 1, using the phrase when you communicate with your team, you guys should ... When you say stuff like that, when you say you guys should do this, you guys should do this, you should buy this item, you guys should go over here, it makes people feel like you are trying to boss them around. It makes people feel like you are coming from a place of authority. And if there's one thing that does not work in Dota 2, at least in the pub scene, it is talking to people as if you are better than them. That will never fly in a pub scene, especially because when you go into a pub game, there's really no way to firmly establish yourself as the leader, as somebody that should be recognized, unless you have clearly demonstrated that your calls are good through a series of good actions in the game. And even then, even if you made like 5 good calls and gotten 5 kills, gotten some towers as a result, if you fuck up once, people are going to be like, I'm never listening to this guy again. So you just have to keep in mind that when you try to make calls, it's actually really important the way that you phrase things. I think that if you use the phrase can we instead of you should, you'll actually see a pretty big difference in how people respond to that, because can we includes yourself, first of all, so it's all of us together collectively. And also, you're kind of just asking permission. It's almost like you're putting yourself below them. You're asking permission to do an action. But it doesn't really matter because you're still making a call. Whether you say we should do this or can we do this, you're still making a call. So you're still in charge, but the way that people perceive it is different. And that's really, really important. Just give it a try when you're communicating. Try and shift the way that you phrase your calls to be less so from a place of authority and more so inclusive of yourself in the action. And you can even say, hey, can we go Roche? And then you go do something else. That's totally acceptable. It's not like you have to actually include yourself in the action, but include yourself in the call to the action. And that's all that really matters. So number 2 is being emotionally invested in what your teammates are doing or saying. Basically, if they do something good, if they do something bad, don't let that affect your mentality and how you're playing the game. And the reason I wrote this one down in this list is because I recently played a game where I had somebody who rolled for the role in lane, and then they picked a support because they lost the role. I was playing carry, and any last hit that I missed, they would just ping me over and over and over. They were paying so close attention to my mechanics and to my laning that they were literally not even playing support. They weren't pulling, they weren't harassing the other team. They were just standing around watching me last hit and then pinging me if I ever messed up a last hit. That's a very extreme example, but basically when it comes down to actions in Dota and whether they're good or bad, what you want to do is just kind of treat everything as a data point towards making decisions. If your teammates do something really stupid, really bad, you're giving the other team an advantage, just treat that as a data point. Okay, now something bad has happened. Now the momentum has shifted towards the other team, and I need to incorporate the fact that the momentum is now on the other team into the way that I'm itemizing, playing, making calls, etc. Furthermore, if somebody is being negative, even if it's not directed towards you, I highly recommend just meeting them immediately. If they say one really negative thing, just mute them. Because the thing is, if you defend yourself, it doesn't help the situation. It's not like the other person really cares what you think about what they said. But the fact that you care about what they said is going to make you play worse. It's going to make you more conscious of every little thing that you do. And maybe if you start making a couple more mistakes, you're going to be even more critical. You're going to be so in your head that you're going to make more mistakes. Then, I mean, the game is basically over at that point because you're not even playing Dota anymore. You're having a debate. The third thing is that you want to be queuing with a very firm idea of what you're trying to do in the game before you even press the Q button. And I know that there are plenty of people that play the game very casually, and that's totally fine. However, if you are just kind of autopilot queuing over and over and over as a casual way to sort of like distract your brain from maybe a long day at work or something like that, don't expect yourself to play well, don't expect yourself to get any better at the game. And like I said, that's totally fine. If your goal is basically just to blow off steam, you know, play a video game for the sake of playing a video game, feel free. But chances are you probably want to enjoy your time and actually play the game relatively high level because it's more fun when you're winning. And so generally speaking, if you are just hitting the play Dota button, you know, kind of incessantly, you don't even really think about what's going on before you click. Maybe you just get home from work, you turn on your computer and you click play Dota, or you finish a game and you just click play Dota immediately again because you're trying to get those games in. That is going to just put you in a lot of weird situations where maybe you end up on a team that doesn't have people that want to play certain roles, or a bunch of people want to play your role, and then you don't really have a backup plan. You haven't really thought of any contingencies that could arise in the game. You haven't even figured out what heroes you really want to work on today or play. And so you end up, you know, losing gold, end up arguing with your team about what you're doing, and it just doesn't set your mindset up for success in the games to come. And this autopiloting is something that Jenkins and I have both talked about a lot as something that we have both struggled with from time to time as well. And I can honestly say that if you just take like 2 or 3 minutes in between games, or even just with your first game, spend a little bit of time figuring out, you know what, I kind of feel like playing this hero today, and then go and do one last hit challenge and used to the mechanics. And then you play your games. Your first game of the day is going to increase in quality by a large amount, and every subsequent game is going to increase in quality by a large amount because you're having this conscious reflection time in between games as well to think about, what did I do wrong, what do I want to do next, and then you go into the game and try to execute that plan to the best of your ability. So basically, this is just a list of 3 things that I know that a lot of people struggle with. I know it's stuff that both Jenkins and I have struggled with as well, and that is why I wanted to make this list, is because I know that it is just a ubiquitous problem for people in the Dota community, and something that you can very easily and actively work on without having to spend a whole lot of time as far as like grinding games or learning new mechanics or studying the game. All you have to do is just think about these habits and replace them with more constructive, better habits, and you're going to see a massive, massive increase in your MMR and your enjoyment of Dota 2 as a game. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below if you're a sufferer of any of these 3 bad habits, and we will see you in another video. Hello everyone, and thank you for watching the video. We genuinely appreciate your time and attention spent with us here on the YouTube channel.